So there may come a time when you need to migrate your Divi website or just the settings from your Divi pages, or maybe just one page. So that might be if you're wanting to change hosts and you weren't using a migration tool or a migration service, or it might be that you just want to have a backup of your website that you know that you can easily restore and that you can have some control of, or it might just be that you want to that you're changing domain names, for example, or you want to move parts of a website across to another website that you're working on. And so I'm going to show you the elements that you need to pay attention to in order to grab all of the settings for the pages. So let's take a look at the three areas. So the first area that you might have made customizations of your Divi website are on the Divi theme options, because here under the general settings you might have added a logo, you might have added some social media links, you might have added in some custom CSS. I haven't in this particular case. You might have added in your colors, and also you might have things added in these other tabs along here. For example, you might, under the updates, have your license key for Divi, and you don't want to have to just reproduce all of this stuff and all of the customizations when you're moving it over. So you want to be able to basically download these settings and then upload them to the new site. So the way you can do that is using these portability options here, which is import and export. So when I come over here, I can go ahead and I can choose to export this. Now I'm going to give it a file name so it's just easy for me to remember. So let's just say just call it a name. I'm just going to put website name. So whatever your website name is, just go ahead and add that in here and click on export. And you'll see it downloads, and it's downloaded here. And it downloads a JSON file, which we are then able to import into another site. So now that we've got the Divi theme options, the other thing that we might want to download is settings from the theme customizer. So if we click on the theme customizer, it might be that we have settings in here, such as we might have changed some of the typography settings, we might have added a favicon, we might have added settings in the header and the navigational settings. So we can go ahead and we can grab these from here as well. So we can come in here, we can choose an export name, and in here I'm just going to put website name again, click on export. So that's the Divi theme customizer settings. So now that those are done, there's one last thing that I want to show you, and that's if you want to actually export a page layout. Now you can do this for one page or several pages. So if I come over here to pages, let's say I want to take this holding page with me, then I'm going to come into edit with Divi. I wait for it to load. And once it's loaded, I'm going to click on the purple dot at the bottom here and come to these portability options here. And again, I'm going to put in a name for the page and website name. And I'm going to export it. Now, this will export all of the settings for this page, including all of the media, so that's the images and everything else. So now I have three JSON files, one for the Divi theme options, one for the customizer, and one for the actual page itself. Now keep in mind, if I had 5 pages on my site, I could go ahead and download all of them in this way. But it might just be that you want the holding page, for example, then you're migrating that across. So now I've got them, let me show you how to go ahead and import them. So on this page, this is a clean installation of Divi. So in the Divi theme options, I don't have any customizations at all. So this is the default color pickers, palette, and there aren't any other customized settings. So when I go ahead and I click on to import, so I'm going to change from the export tab to the import tab, I'm going to just drag and drop this theme options file in here. Now, if I had some options already customized, I could choose to back them up before importing. So I would just check this box. Because this is a clean Divi installation, I don't have any that I might want to refer back to. So I'm just going to leave that blank. And I'm going to just click on, sorry, I didn't mean to choose file. I'm just going to click on import. Sorry, hang on, let me go back. I've confused it because I clicked on something. So I'm going to go and click on import Divi theme options. Here we go. It didn't like what I just, let's go ahead and grab that one that I downloaded. I messed things up. So it was the Divi theme options. Hang on one second. Here we go. And I'm going to just click on import. So now when I close this, we're going to see that it's imported these colors and it's copied across the social media profile that I had on the other one. So that's, now we have our theme options. I can now go ahead to the theme customizer, and I'm going to do exactly the same process and import that. So I'm going to come in here and move from the export to the import tab. I'm going to grab the theme customizer file and I'm just going to click on import. And so now that has imported those settings, any settings that I had in the previous site. So it's just going to load those. And once it's finished doing that, I'm then going to go ahead and import the page itself. So I'm going to close out of this and I'm going to come to the dashboard. And under pages, I'm going to add a new page. I'm going to call it holding test. And because I know it's a holding page, I'm just going to change from the default template to a blank page. And I'm going to use the Divi builder and I'm going to import it. Sorry, it's just taking a moment to respond. Hang on one second. Okay, so now the Divi visual builder is loaded. We're going to choose build from scratch. And I don't need any of these rows. I don't need any of this content. And now I'm going to come down to the purple dot and I'm going to come to the portability option here. And I'm going to go to import and I'm going to go ahead and grab this holding page. And I'm going to ask it to replace existing content because Divi automatically adds a section when it comes in. Again, if I had any content, I could go ahead and hit download, but this is a blank page. So I'm going to hit import and it might take a moment. But what this does is it also imports all of the media. So any imagery will appear in your media library and the page will load. So once you have this, then you can go ahead and you can just click on Save Draft and you have your layout, you have your Divi theme options, and you have everything from the Divi customizer. So this is the way that you can go ahead and make a backup that you have confidence that you can go ahead and you know how to install it all.